Hello guys, we're going to be looking at Elemental Shaman now, and my god, there have been some changes, and they are really nice, to be fair. Well, just some really nice changes. So we'll get into it. We'll look at the talents first. Well, no, first things first. I want to mention a welcome return to the Tremor Totem. A lot of classes are getting some old kind of abilities back. You know, Druid got Hibernate back, but man, getting Tremor Totem back is mad on Ellie Shaman. You see, I'm a PvPer, you know, I'm a PvPer, I enjoy PvP. For that, they're removing Fear, Charm and Sleep that used to just destroy Warlocks. It was great, and I'm glad they've got it back. It's just a really mint talent ability. Right, moving on. There are some juicy talents in here. We're talking some seriously hard decisions, okay? Exposed elements. So this is the first tier now. Earth Shock now increases the damage of your next lightning bolt on the targets by 200%. Right, Earth Shock now doesn't cost up to Maelstrom. It just costs 60 Maelstrom, and that's it. You know, before it was like your lightning shield stacks up from lightning bolting, and then you just consume all the stacks in an Earth Shock, and it does this big kind of execute effect. Earth Shock still fundamentally is that same ability, but now they've just got rid of all the confusion and the clunkiness, and it now just costs 60 Maelstrom, and it does damage, and there's no cooldown on it. So if you're getting 60 Maelstrom every time, you can keep pummeling them with Earth Shocks, and boom boom boom. So that first talent basically means as soon as you've Earth Shocked, your next lightning bolt will do 200% more damage to that target. That's pretty nice. 200% damage on a lightning bolt is huge. Echo of the Elements is the same as live. It still has 2 charges on Lava Burst, and when you get a Lava Surge proc, it will just give you another charge. Elemental Blast performs exactly the same as it does on live, so it's a very competitive first tier already. You know, there are multiple builds here, but I'll go into them in detail in a second. Next tier we've got Aftershock, again performing the same as live. 30% chance to refund the Maelstrom spent on them. So for example, you could be doing a 60 Maelstrom cost Earth Shock, and there's a 30% chance then that you could do another one because it's refunded all the Maelstrom spent, and then there's a 30% chance you could do another one. So potentially here you could be doing Earth Shock, Earth Shock, Earth Shock, Earth Shock, Earth Shock. I can't even say it, I'm that excited. Anyway, next one is Master of Elements. Casting Lava Burst increases the damage of your next nature or frost spell by 20%. So we've got here, you know, some real, you know, interplay between your abilities if you wanted to in your builds. I mean, you've got Earth Shock buffing Lightning Bolt, you've got Lava Burst buffing nature damage, so you could potentially do an Earth Shock, Lava Burst, and then Lightning Bolt them for 220% more damage on your Lightning Bolt. So there's, you know, there's a lot of things here which, you know, are encouraging synergy. Totem Mastery hasn't changed. It's exactly the same. You get 4 totems and they give you a buff each, a passive buff. However, you'll notice the next tier, my goodness, Elemental Shamans getting Earth Shield is pretty damn sick. Yeah, it protects the target with an Earthen Shield, increasing the healing on them by 10%, and healing them for 314 whenever they take damage. Not just when it's more than 10% of the health or whatever it is currently on live, it's just now whenever they take damage, 9 charges. However, this heal can only occur every few seconds, and Earth Shield can only be placed on 1 target at a time. But the fact that they're getting Earth Shield, I don't know, it boggles my mind. Anyway, a lot of you will recognise Spirit Wolf there from the PvP talent tree in Legion. While transformed into Ghost Wolf, you gain 5% increased movement speed and 5% damage reduction every second, stacking up to 4 seconds. So that's quite nice. You know, a bit more survivability there. Static Charge is interesting now. Reduces the cooldown of Capacitor by 5 seconds for each enemy it stuns, up to a maximum reduction of 20 seconds. So it's a minute cooldown at the moment. However, it's no longer a 5-second stun. After 2 seconds, it erupts and stuns people for 3 seconds. It's on a 1-minute cooldown. I don't know if they're kind of culling back CC. It seems to me they are. I mean, a 3-second stun on a 1-minute cooldown, it's not very tasty. Mind you, Shadow Fury is the same for Lock at the moment, so but having that reduction there is quite nice. However, I just don't think it can compete with the other two, especially Earth Shield. That's just huge in my opinion. I love the fact that as Ellie you're getting resto abilities like Earth Shield. Right, we're going to skip this tier and we're going to go on the next tier because I want to come back to it. So your 75 tier is Nature's Guardian. When your health is brought below 35%, you instantly heal for 20% of your max health. Again, the PvPer in me here is screaming because I love this kind of stuff. That used to be an old restoration talent, which in the old builds we had to put, like, you know, points into your talent tree. So that's lovely, being in there. Ancestral Guidance works exactly the same as live. Windrush Tome works exactly the same as live. So for me, I love that. It just means if you get, you know, you're in execute range, you immediately get 20% of your health back. So I love that. Earthen Rage performs the same, and I've gone this because I'm gonna try a build in a second, but I'm just going to show you. But Earthen Rage basically works exactly the same as live. It does nature damage to your most recently attacked target. Primal Elementalist, again the same as live. Earth, Fire, and Storm Elementals are 80% more powerful and have abilities. Ice Fury, same as live, except it's been a significant reduction in damage for the 4 Frost Shocks you get. That being said, there is some small changes now. Flame Shock no longer has a 0 to 20 Maelstrom cost. It's just 6-second cooldown, 40-yard range, which is nice because it was always clunky when, you know, you'd be flame shocking somebody and it would eat away your precious Maelstrom just for that extra duration. You don't really care that much about the duration because you're going to reapply it anyway. So having a 6-second cooldown and it just lasting 18 seconds is just, for me, perfect. It's like what they should have done in the first place. However, Frost Shock is still the same. You'll notice it's still 0 to 20 Maelstrom. Damage is increased by up to 100% based on the Maelstrom cost, and the duration obviously is also increased by up to 100%. So that's still pretty good in conjunction with Ice Fury. If you have a full Maelstrom bar, you can do 4 Frost Shocks, boom, 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 doing quite a lot of damage, 160% increased damage. So it's still nice. Legion was a little bit OP because it was 200% increased damage, obviously reduced in PvP scenarios, but yeah, Ice Fury hasn't really changed in its gameplay aspect. And then finally we've got our 100 tier, Unlimited Power, which I love the fact they've given a talent called Unlimited Power. When your spells cause an elemental overload, you gain 2% haste for 10 seconds. Gaining a stack does not refresh the duration, so you've got a chance here to be getting some serious haste for 10 seconds, because there's going to be a lot of elemental overloads. You'll see in a minute. Just quite nice, really. It doesn't refresh the duration, but you do get a lot of haste. Stormkeeper, as we all know, is our current Legion artifact ability on our weapon, except it no longer increases the damage done now of Chain Lightning or Lightning Bolt. It just gives you 2 instant cast Lightning Bolt or Chain Lightnings, which will obviously trigger an elemental overload on every target. Exposed Element is obviously the 200% increased damage there that they've kind of separated the two and made 2 abilities out of. I don't have a problem with that. I like that. That adds depth. It's nice when things are baked in. It's also nice when they're not. You know, to a certain degree. And an Ascendance is the same as it currently is. There's a slight change there, though. It increases the damage of Lava Burst by an amount equal to your critical strike chance. I think that's a change. It's still on a 3-minute cooldown. However, if we look at Fire Elemental here a second. Now, Fire Elemental is on a 2.5 minute cooldown, 30-second duration, but now you'll notice that when it's active, Flame Shock generates 3 Maelstrom when it deals damage over time. So that's new. That's interesting. So you got a Flame Shock. It's now giving you Maelstrom every time it's doing damage during your Greater Fire Elemental being active. However, the real beauty I want to get into is this next tier here, because we've got Storm Elemental, which has been changed. So it replaces your Fire Elemental. It's still a 2.5 minute cooldown. It's still a 30-second duration. But while it's active, every time you cast Lightning Bolt or Chain Lightning, the cast bolt of those respective spells gets reduced by 3%, stacking up to 20 times. Alright, so we're looking at a 60% reduction at max stacks for your Lightning Bolt and your Chain Lightning. If you combine that with your Unlimited Power, you're looking at some serious stacks there of haste and cast time reduction. However, there's also high voltage in this tier, which we'll go into now. Lightning Bolt and Chain Lightning can now cause a second elemental overload. So you pop that with Stormkeeper and Exposed Elements, and you've got yourself there at 3 times hitting Lightning Bolt, doing 200% increased damage, and obviously respectively 85% for the elemental overload. But it's still a massive burst combo. You know, Stormkeeper You do your Earth Shock, and then you've got this instant cast Lightning Bolt straight afterwards, which is hitting potentially, well, definitely twice, but potentially 3 times. Ooh, these are really good changes. I've enjoyed it. But what we're going to do, we're going to go onto a target dummy now, and we're going to do the Storm Elemental. And I want to just see how much haste. We're not going to do Heroism because I don't see the point of that. We already know what Heroism can do. And I just want to basically just lay into some, some serious Lightning Bolt casts and just see what kind of, haste we get. We're going to take unlimited power as well, because I want to see the haste buff on that. And then we'll see what goes on. So we'll make sure we got all the correct talents. Yeah, we're pretty good here. I'm going to keep Earthen Rage because I like the fact that all these lightning bolts coming off me now is going to keep rocking that. I just want to see what kind of... It's not a numbers game right now, it's beta. It's going to be a gameplay question. Okay. So, what we're going to do our Storm Elemental. There he is. Pretty sure, just make sure we've got everything else we need. So we'll start with the Flame Shock anyway, get the Storm Elemental out, and we'll just start spamming Chain Lightning and see what happens. Alright, so we're already at 9%, 6%. Alright, here we go, we've got some haste stack in here now as well. Got 8 seconds left on our Ellie, but these casts are coming in thick and heavy now. Obviously it's affecting Lightning Bolt as well. So, that's not bad. That's pretty decent. And there's obviously the unlimited power keeps proccing it as well. I like it. I think it's pretty decent. In fact, I'm not even talking that much because I'm watching the buffs right now and thinking, ooh. Honestly, you feel like Emperor Palpatine. Except Emperor Palpatine can also throw balls of lava at people. Yeah, it's tasty. It's really nice. There's some really nice changes in there, to be fair. I will go exposed elements, and I will go Stormkeeper as well, high voltage. I just want to see if no, I can't do that. It's on cooldown, can't I? Well, we'll try Stormkeeper anyway, because that's on a minute left anyway. So we'll take that. So we'll do an Earth Shock. So we'll do an Earth Shock. We'll do a Stormkeeper, and then we'll throw in a Lightning Bolt. Yeah, it's obviously the numbers are going to be tuned. But I was getting a 50k hit then on a Lightning Bolt on an 85 dummy. I do appreciate that, but the numbers are still going to be the same kind of scaling. But if you are going to be particular about it, then I'll do it on an 85 over here. There we go. Right, so let's just change the Storm Elemental in 12 seconds. And let's just see if I can get a high voltage triple hit on that Lightning Bolt. I'd be quite pleased to see that, to be honest. Right, so there we go. So let's come out of combat. High voltage. So we've lost Storm Elemental. So we've got our old Fire Elemental back, doing damage, and also 3 Maelstrom every time that Flame Shock does damage. But I'm not interested in that just yet. I want to just try out Stormkeeper with high voltage and Earth Shock. So everything's off cooldown. So let's just get ourselves some Maelstrom up, so we can Earth Shock. Okay, so we're going to Earth Shock. I never like holding on to lava burst charges. So we're going to Earth Shock. Then we're going to do a Stormkeeper, and we're going to do a Lightning Bolt and see if it procs 3 times. No, just twice. So yeah, there's a chance there it can proc a second time. How often it happens, I don't know. It hasn't happened to me yet. But the idea behind it is, you're literally just this machine gun. Let's do another one. Boom. Yeah, just the once. So, for me personally, I like the idea of the Storm Elemental over High Voltage. You know, I like that, to be fair. I will just try once more the Stormkeeper, but this time on three dummies with a Chain Lightning, all right, and see if that procs 3 times, because I'm feeling it here. I'm feeling it. You know, 8 seconds left, so let's get ourselves some Maelstrom so we can do our Earth Shock. So it's buffing the. Oh, it's only a Lightning Bolt anyway, so that's irrelevant. So let's do a Stormkeeper and then instant Chain Lightning. Yeah, so it only proc twice then. It hasn't actually procced a 3rd time at all. So a High Voltage might need tuning a little bit, because the mastery is pretty high, to be fair. It's 36%, so you'd think 36% twice in a row wouldn't be actually that rare, but it hasn't happened to me yet. So for me though, the go-to build for me would be Storm Elemental, and then potentially that unlimited power or Stormkeeper. I just love the fact that Storm Elemental is just buffing the cast time on these lightning bolts and chain lightnings, because lightning bolt now doesn't actually do that much less damage than lava burst. So anyway, there's lots to play with. I think they're in a really good place right now. Loads of really nice changes. The fact that you're getting Earth Shield, the fact that you're getting Tremor Tone back, these are all really nice things. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with Elemental Shaman, to be fair. I'm sure you guys out there that play Elemental Shaman will be as well. So if you like the video, or if you think I've missed anything out, or you've got any kind of criticisms, please let me know in the comments box. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to move on to Enhancement Shaman now. So yeah, thanks for your time.